Hey folks, it's Charles with the Disney Dining Show, and today we're on a bit of a field trip. We're in Disneyland right now, taking care of some stuff, and so today's review is going to be of Cafe Orleans in New Orleans Square, which is like, exterior, New Orleans Square is beautiful, it's iconic, it's a wonderful part of the park, but as far as the dining's concerned, we're going to go and check and see how Cafe Orleans is currently. Now, some of us have been there before, some of us have not, so it's going to be a couple first-time experiences. You're going to get to see a few people who compare it to previous experiences, and we're going to just get in, really enjoy it, get as many dishes as possible, and try and give you as much up-to-date information so that when you are planning your vacation, you know whether you want to hit up Cafe Orleans. So, let's get to it. Okay, so we just got done with most of a round of appetizers because we're still waiting on a charcuterie board that they forgot about. But we got the seafood gratin, which is lump crab, shrimp, spinach, and creamy tarragon dressing, served with seasoned croutons running $12. We got the famous, evidently, pommes frites, traditional French fried potatoes tossed with Parmesan, garlic, and parsley, served with the Cajun spice remoulade, and that was $8. Charcuterie board we're waiting on is $18, assorted artisanal cheeses and charcuterie with honey, fruit, nuts, and crostini. And lastly, for our appetizers, we also got the seasonal soup, which for this current season while we're eating is potato leek topped with fried potatoes and leeks. Came in at $7. It's probably going to be different when you come in here. But one thing that I can say is that I do not understand the love of the pommes frites here. To me, they seem to be basically like an average kind of quick service fry. Just they've got Parmesan, they've got garlic, they've got parsley, they've got that Cajun spice remoulade. That remoulade is not too bad, but it's also not something that's going to make up for just an average fry. I mean, it's thick and it's heavy, and it's fine for dipping, but you're going to get tired of that relatively quick, I think. I wasn't impressed by them. They're only $8, so whatever. If you're in the mood for fries, you're in the mood for fries, but these are not life-changing fries. The seafood gratin was pretty decent, though. They use a tarragon dressing there, and if, you don't run into such a strong tarragon flavor, the seafood, the fishiness doesn't really come out of it. So I think even if you weren't, big into seafood, as long as you liked tarragon, you could probably get by with this. So I think that was pretty well. The potato leek soup, very tasty, very, very heavy. All in all, so far, I think everything is pretty decent price per value. Like I said, not impressed with the fries, but they're $8 fries in park, so it's not the worst decision anybody's going to make in their life. Now, I'm going to toss it over to my fellow diners, and you're going to see a few familiar faces from our Disneyland team who are on the Disney Dining Show recording for the first time here. So I'm going to pass that along to Tom.
Charles is wrong. The pommes frites are life-changing. You must have them. They're a Disneyland classic. I mean, garlic, Parmesan, and fried potatoes. There's nothing wrong with these. Share them with the table, maybe, but you gotta have the pommes frites.
So as far as those fries are concerned, I'm kind of in the middle between Charles and Tom. I'm sandwiched in between the two of them because I really do like them. But so the fries itself are kind of like your basic Disney fries that you'd expect in Land and World at both sit down and quick service, but they are seasoned, and I think they're seasoned really well. The best part about it for me, though, is that dipping sauce, that Cajun spice remoulade. I love it. I want it in a cup to drink. It's delicious. But at the same time, they are just your basic Disney fries. So at $8, though, I mean, what more could you really expect? It's fair in my opinion. Then going over to that seafood gratin, something I've never tried before, nothing like anything I've ever tried before, but also like Charles was saying, it's not fishy, and it's not fishy at all. If I was a kid and my parents were trying to get me to try crab for the first time and they lied to me and said it was something else, I'd probably believe them. And that's not, I don't mean that in a bad way. It was really good. But yeah, I haven't tried the charcuterie board yet, so I'm gonna do that. I'm not gonna eat the cheese though. I'm gonna eat everything but the cheese. It's like fresh dried oranges. I think that's what it is, but I like it.
I will try all of the cheese that Corey doesn't eat on every dining show ever and be very, very happy about it. It's really creamy. They have a decent assortment here. Let's check out how much did this guy run. It's $18. I'm not sure how often they change up this assortment or not, but everything seems to be a decent quality. Look at this honey.
For my appetizer, I had the potato leek soup. It's a seasonal soup menu. In all honestly, the thing that makes this soup is the garnish. Little chunks of potato, little bits of leek. I normally expect potato leek soup to be a little on the thinner side. My first instance is you can almost stand your spoon up in it. So it's really thick, really creamy. Not for anybody looking to reduce calories or just have some light soup and salad kind of combo, which is what I was going for. However, the flavor's there. I don't get as much leek off of it, but it's definitely more potato. But like I said, the garnish really makes it. I mean, take a look at that garnish. Big chunks of potato. I'm assuming it's russet, but I'm not sure. It holds its shape really tight, so you get those nice little chunks in your mouth and gives you some texture. The leek is very fine, thin strips. It's already pre-sauteed. I don't get much leek in the soup itself, but other than that, it's not bad. I couldn't eat the whole bowl. Notice I've got a lot left, just because if I ate all this, I wouldn't have room for my salad. So, tasty, but I'd pass on it.
I ordered the steak and potatoes, and that comes with a chef's choice steak. For me, this time it was a hanger steak, and I ordered it rare. I gotta say, unless it's a steakhouse or someplace that is known for their steaks, I usually don't eat steaks when I go out. I can make those at home. But I was curious. This ran $24. It's served with seasonal vegetables, which were like nice and seasoned, a little salty. So if you prefer milder stuff, the potatoes might be a little salty for you. But it also had a chimichurri sauce on top of the steak. That tasted really good. All in all, it was very flavorful. But the one thing I was impressed with was for in park, I was surprised at the quality of the steak, and I ordered it rare, and it was cooked to my preference. Not as rare as maybe a crazy person like me eats it. It was no longer answering to its name, but it still was rare. I could see right in the middle of it. It had a great texture, and for $24 for a in park steak. I gotta say it was totally worth it. And the other thing I want to speak on is the Monte Cristo that we brought for the table. We all tried it. It's an iconic dish here, and that runs you $21. They had a seasonal variety where they just throw on like different colored powdered sugar or whatever, but the Monte Cristo is absolutely wonderful, and if you're not familiar with it, it's turkey, ham, and Swiss. It's fried, and then it's dusted with powdered sugar. If they offer this as a dessert everywhere I went, this is what I would get each time. The powdered sugar makes it sweet. For an entree, I'm usually not down for that, but the mixture of the sweet and savory is done really well, and it's a fine powdered sugar, the same way they do on the beignets. So it's got this nice, dry, kind of palpable texture on the outside, but that locked-in Swiss ham flavor on the inside. So texturally, flavor-wise, it's just really fun to eat, and it's pretty decent. We managed to each get a quarter and split it up together, so totally worth it for $21. And now, before we get to the dessert section, I already have to say, so far everything I've had, I would say very good price per value. Everything was totally worth what I paid for it, and you don't run into that so much for in-park meals. So I'm pretty impressed, all in all, for my first time being here.
So I got for my entree the Bourbon Street Chicken. It came in at $21, and it's a honey-kissed chicken with Hop and John seasonal vegetables and a bourbon sauce. So what I will say is I really like the chicken. I think it was seasoned very well. The chicken was very tender and delicious. Thought it was wonderful. However, I am not unfamiliar with bourbon sauce and bourbon chicken. It's actually one of my favorite things to get when I go out to eat if it's available. So this item on the menu caught my eye immediately. The sauce, there was really nothing bourbon about it. It was more like a flavorless gravy. Wasn't a huge fan of it. I think if they stepped up that sauce, this would be amazing because the chicken was great. The chicken was great, the rice was great, it was seasoned really well. They had some vegetables on there too, the vegetables were great. The only knock I would have would be that bourbon sauce. I don't even know why it's called bourbon sauce because like I said, it's just like it's like a gravy. The texture's like a gravy, the flavor's like a gravy, but there's very little flavor on it. But the chicken itself, the flavor on the chicken was amazing. And yeah, that's what I would say about that. The only thing I'd knock it on is the sauce.
All right, so I had the shrimp and grits. It's $22. I don't know that I have ever had real grits before. Sure, never had shrimp and grits before. I really enjoyed it. I was surprised. I didn't really know what to expect going in. The grits were creamy, but not too creamy. They had almost a vinegary start, like a Tabasco. And then a little heat at the end, which was really, really good. Came with like several slices of the sausage, and then there was 6 shrimp in there. It was topped with like a fava bean and corn relish. And then it doesn't say it on the menu, but I think it's like it had like fried kale just as a garnish. It almost seemed like you could have gotten a little bit more of the grits in it. It was barely in the bottom of the bowl, but the flavor was awesome. I ate the whole thing. I would recommend that one.
So for my entree, I had the muffaletta chopped salad. It had all the things you'd find in a muffaletta sandwich, which is the goal theoretically. Ham, capicola, salami, provolone, roasted red peppers, olives. Really? Shaved Parmesan and giardiniera chopped up, and it had a sherry vinaigrette to it. All in all, you have to ask yourself, what is a chopped salad? I think like iceberg and romaine all wrapped up. You know, when they prep a chopped salad, you throw everything in the bowl and they whack it all to death, and you get nice little bite-sized pieces. I was surprised. It was spring mix. And all the stuff kind of tossed with it. So, be prepared what you're expecting. It's not what you think of when you read chopped salad on the menu. But, that being said, it really tasted like a muffaletta sandwich. The mix of the giardina and the peppers, along with the lunch meats, really, really good combination. And it was mixed well through the salad. Whoever's tossing them, they know it. They know what they're doing. They know how to toss a salad. I can't toss a salad for the love of money. There we go. So I really liked it. Just be prepared and know that you're not getting a chopped salad.
All right, so for dessert, we had 2 options, both of which we got, of course. The birthday beignets for $11 and the citrus royale for $10. Now, the beignets were great. There's a coffee cookie sugar one that I really liked. If you don't like coffee, you might not like it, but I'm a coffee fanatic. But it's kind of bitter. It's not like a sweet kind of candy coffee thing. It's very hard coffee. So I loved that, but all their beignets always come out absolutely great here. The citrus roll was a big surprise. It's very birthday cakey. It's, you know, like yellow cake with white frosting and purple and green and yellow decorations from New Orleans style. But it was super sweet, and it was kind of birthday cakey, but it also had this great cream cheese frosting. Everything blended together really well. The flavor wasn't just sugar like I expected. Like, it had multiple kind of different variations in sugar and the flavor and texture. So both of them were wonderful. beautiful. And once again, I'm gonna say, I think both of them were completely worth the amount of money we paid, $11 and $10. But I think the standout was probably the citrus roll.
I really like these. And I am a donut girl, and it looks like I'm a donut girl.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of pastries, and I'm also a big fan of anything that smells or tastes like coffee. So this hits on all those marks, but surprisingly, when it comes to pastries and sweets and stuff like that, cake isn't always my favorite. Stuff like this is, but cake isn't always my favorite. This cake, however, was my favorite. This lemon cake with
So good.
cream
and
cheese.
surprising.
I don't like cream cheese, but if I don't know it's there, then it's fine. It tastes delicious.
It is. It's not a whipped creamy kind of jelly roll thing like you normally get. It's got that buttercream and it's got the colors. It's appealing, and even the little garnish, white chocolate garnishy stuff was good.
And the jam also for these.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
The jam.
it complements it very, very well.
Charles was saying it was, kind of a bitter. I wouldn't necessarily go as far as thinking bitter, but if you like a good, plain old ordinary cup of coffee, maybe even a mocha cup of coffee, it's right there. It's right at that level. If you do your coffee without a lot of cream. I think it's just right there. The powdered sugar ones are powdered sugar ones. They always have a different one every few months, so you never know what you're going to get when you're here. But this right now, you do it.
All right, so there you have it. We've gone through appetizers, desserts, entrees, all that stuff, and this experience will be well worth it because we got to hang out with our Disneyland friends for this, which is completely awesome. But my personal feelings aside about that, how'd you like the food?
I thought it was good. All the flavors were there.
I'm so used to getting the Monte Cristo, so getting something different, I'm gonna have a better day than after all that fried food.
Yeah.
But we used to get, we'd get the French onion soup, which they don't have anymore, the fries, and split the Monte Cristo. But I'm kind of glad I did something different this time.
I thought the food was very good. Like I said, there was a little bit of a problem that I had with the bourbon sauce. It wasn't very flavorful. I think they could swap that out on the entree. It would be a lot better. As far as the appetizers and the dessert, and I guess my entree is concerned, I thought it was fairly priced and pretty delicious. So it's a thumbs up.
Yeah, so I think we all agree that price per value, this place works out really well, and it's also it's a classic Disneyland establishment. They've got a lot of things where if you want to say that you've tasted what Disneyland has to offer, a lot of iconic things that you have to hit up, and and yes, of course, the view is absolutely beautiful. So it's one of the, I'd say one of the nicest outside dining establishments pretty much anywhere on property. So all in all, positive feelings all around. So hopefully you get a chance to stop by this gear yourself sometime soon and take a look at it.